I learn more about my story, I think, every time I do one of these calls, and I love it, especially when my coaches are on these calls, because they get to hear my story for the 5,000 billionth time, and they get called on to speak sometimes during the call. So we're going to get started. And this is really just sort of a quick rundown of what coaching is, what it's all about, what it is, what it isn't, how it works, what we do, what it costs, just like basic stuff that, you know, a lot of people have questions about when they are interested in coaching. So we're going to go through a lot of that stuff. And then at the end, I'll open it up for Q&A. And if you have questions, then we'll answer them. So I'm going to share the screen. Hopefully all of you guys can see them, and hopefully you're all logged into the computer and not just calling in, because you'll miss the whole presentation and this will be really weird. But hopefully you'll be able to see it. So this is what we're going to talk about tonight. The road to physical and financial freedom. I've been thinking about this a lot. And this is really, I think, what coaching encompasses. If you really break coaching for Beachbody down to the core, this is what our purpose is. We're trying to create physical and financial freedom in people's lives. So we're going to talk about that a little bit tonight. And hopefully by the end of the call, I really want you guys to think about your own story, where you're currently at in your life, what you're trying to accomplish, where you're trying to go, what you're trying to do, what you're fighting for, where you're at physically, where you're at mentally. I want you to really just kind of take out all outside influences, and I just want you to think about you during this call. So I'm just going to introduce myself a little bit, and I'm going to tell you my story. I'm going to talk about what coaching is and isn't. I'm going to talk about what our main objections that we get are, so I can walk you through them and probably answer a lot of the questions that you would have. And we'll go over some of this stuff. So very first, I just wanted to throw this visual out there. And I hate this photo on the left. I don't know why. You guys probably look at that picture and don't think anything of it. But for me, that picture is when I looked at myself. And it wasn't that I'm like, oh, I'm fat, I don't look good, I'm overweight, I'm out of shape, I'm unhealthy. That's not what happened when I looked at this photo of myself. When I saw this picture of myself, I didn't recognize the person in the photo. And it was terrifying. I remember very vividly looking at that picture and thinking to myself, where am I? Like, where am I in this photo? Like, that's not me. And I don't know if you guys have ever had a similar experience, but for me, it was really scary. I wanted to show this photo because I think it's really important to help you guys understand that this person that I was then compared to this person that I am now is very different. And it was a journey and a process. It didn't happen overnight, and it wasn't something that, you know, came for free. And it wasn't something that, you know, didn't require a tremendous amount of personal work. So the point of showing you this is I don't want you to think coming into this call that you have to be any specific way in order to do this. Okay. That girl that was in the left picture was someone who, and just so you guys know, the reason that I'm crouching over like that isn't because I'm holding my little Noxie's hand. Look how little Nox is. He's so tiny in it. It's not because I was trying to reach him. Like, I could reach him at that point with my giant monkey arms. The reason why I was hunched over is because I was suffering from some complications post-pregnancy, and I literally couldn't stand up straight for a year. Like, I walked hunched over like that. So I was in pretty bad shape physically. Mentally, I was in horrendous shape. We were 6 figures in debt. This is like the little sidewalk to our little disgusting apartment in Arizona. We were living on food stamps. We were just like a mess, a hot, giant mess. I was in a super deep depression. We just moved to a new state. I didn't know anyone. I'd left my job as a hairstylist that I loved. I had a huge clientele in Salt Lake City, and I loved doing hair. It was my passion. I loved doing it, and it was really hard to leave. So I was just in this place. I was in this place of, I'm not myself, but I know who I want to be. And I was very motivated at that time to surround myself with something better and become a better person. I was very motivated to create a better life and to authentically have a happy life instead of just like pretending that it was happy or wishing that it was happy. Like I really wanted to have an authentic, happy situation. And I just didn't have that at that time. So that's who I was when I found Beachbody. And it was during this time that I was watching an infomercial on TV at 3 a.m. and I bought, P90X on a credit card with money that I didn't have and no money to pay it off. And I just remember regretting it every single second until it came in the mail and I pushed play that first time. And for the first time in my life, it was this moment where I was like, I don't care what happens. I'm going to finish this no matter what. And up to that point, I'd been crippled by this, physical ailment that I'd had since pregnancy, and I wasn't able to really exercise. So for the first couple workouts, I literally cried through the entire thing, like sobbing, crying. And it wasn't like, oh my gosh, I'm so out of shape. Again, I'm so fat, I can't do this. It was, this is excruciatingly painful. And what was so interesting and what was so profound about that experience is within 7 days, this pain that I'd been feeling for a whole year went away and it never came back, just from exercising every day and pushing through sort of that pain and getting my body to a better place. But what's important about this photo is, again, I knew who I wanted to be, and I knew that what I had going on in my life wasn't what I wanted. I wasn't living up to my potential. I wasn't, living with any purpose or any intention. I wasn't doing anything but wallowing sort of in my situation. Okay. So I'm going to show you this next photo, and if I can get rid of this thing right here, I don't know how to get rid of it. And this is just something else I wanted to bring up. Okay, this is me when I was a little baby. And if any of you have seen my kids, I look exactly like Gray. Like that is my son, like to a T. I even look like I have boy clothes on. That could be Gray. But it's interesting because I looked at this photo the other day and I thought to myself the same thing. Like this little baby girl knew exactly what she could be, right? I wasn't influenced by the world yet. I wasn't influenced by social media. I was just this free little spirit who knew exactly what I liked and what I didn't like and who was nice and who wasn't nice. And when I looked in the mirror, I liked my weird, fat, chubby cheeks, and I liked to laugh, and I liked to make people laugh, and I knew who I was. And it was so interesting looking at this picture and sort of that little girl not knowing exactly that this girl on the right is who I would become, right? But I had all this faith and all these ideas and all of these things that I knew I wanted to become. So it wasn't anything other than that. And I think when people start coaching, they think that they need all of these different things, which I'm going to get into in a minute. But really, all you need to be as a coach when you come in is real about where you are and where you want to go. And I think that that is the most important thing. So I'm just going to break this down for you in a little breakdown. I don't know how else to say it. What coaching is and isn't. These are just some of the things that I've put together that I've personally had to coach people on over the years. So what coaching isn't is selfies on the internet. I think some people come into coaching and they're like, oh, all I have to do is post a picture of my workout and I'm going to have this amazing business. No, that's not how it works. Okay. That's one side of it. That's one thing that we do every single day for our own personal accountability. So while we do post a lot of selfies on the internet, that is not what we do to grow our business and make money. It's just part of what we do. Okay. So coaching also isn't easy. I think that the coaches that are really good at it make it look super easy, but it's not. And while I believe the activities and the tasks and the daily little things that we do aren't always the most difficult and complicated, the industry and what we do is. It's hard to deal with people's emotions and their physical and mental and emotional and spiritual, everything. You're trying to get everything in balance with these people, and it's hard. So it's definitely not easy. Coaching isn't successfully done with a wrong mindset or intention. If you come into the business thinking that all this is a business, it's not going to work. If you don't have a passion to help people, this isn't the right business for you. You have to be someone who cares about the success of others on some level. This business isn't just for fit people. It's not just for perfect people. It's not just for organized people. I'm a burning hot glue gun of a mess, and any of my coaches can say that. So don't be swayed or dissuaded by that, because you don't have to be perfectly organized. Coaching isn't a destination, and I'm going to explain that in a second. It's not for icky people, and my coaches will laugh at that, but icky to me is someone who's trying to force product on someone. That's icky. We don't like that on our team. We don't teach that. We don't practice that. That's not how we build our business. And the last thing is that Beachbody and Team Beachbody isn't just a typical MLM. We're not just selling a product, we're selling a lifestyle, which is very different. And it makes our business unique. And it makes it's one of the reasons why I love our business so much. So a couple things that coaching is people helping people. First and foremost, normal people helping normal people. That's one of the most beautiful things about what we do. There are a lot of other companies that sell makeup and even health shakes and wraps and all kinds of crazy things. And I really think that those companies sell product. I think that they sell product that can help people, right? But I think it's the product that helps people. It's not the people that help people. And that's what makes Beachbody so different, because we're here to help each other. Beachbody, and I know a lot of people come into this afraid to sell, like they think they have to sell and sell and sell and sell and sell. And while selling is an aspect of our business and a very important one, and one that you need to wrap your brain around in order to help people, you have to get them the tools that are going to help them. It's more about sharing instead of selling, because you're never going to sell someone on the idea that they need to get in shape and they need to get fit. Like, they're going to have to sell themselves on that idea. And they're the ones that are going to have to really take that leap and invest. So our job is to provide information, education, tools, structure, that kind of stuff, and help people identify sort of where they can improve in their life. And if they're interested in fitness, we have the ability to onboard them into it in a really simple, structured way. And that's an incredible thing to be able to do. So coaching is about progress, not perfection. So if you've got a comparison issue, which I definitely did when I came into this business, that will get burned out of you by me or all of the other people on our team. There's no room for perfection with human beings. It's just not possible. That's not what we're here to do. We're not here to become perfect. We're here to progress. So I want you guys to keep that in mind. And then we are a very goal-oriented and personal achievement business. We are very much about personal growth and the growth of others. So while this is a business that we all grow individually, and you're the CEO and you're the boss and you can run it however you want, we're very team-oriented, and this kind of business doesn't work without a team. And the reason for that isn't because of the MLM structure, isn't the only reason. Mostly it's because the way that we really make an impact, which is what most coaches who are successful in this business really care about the most, is through people helping people. Again, it's that unity and that team effort that really makes an impact. So A couple things. Coaching is definitely a lifestyle of consistency. And if that freaks you out, I am kind of glad, because you want it to kind of be scary and you want it to be hard, because if it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you, right? So it is a lifestyle of consistency. Does that mean, again, that you have to be perfect? No. And if you try to be and project that you are, again, this won't work. This is about real people helping real people. So self-accountability is a huge aspect. A lot of people become coaches for that one thing alone, to keep themselves accountable and to stay, dedicated and committed to this lifestyle. And a lot of people, for instance, like me, when I started, I knew I would quit if I didn't have people to stay accountable to. So I invited every freaking person that I could find on the internet to join my free fitness group, because the more people that I had in there, the less I could just kind of like melt off into the distance and disappear. So I had to be present. I had to be open. I had to be sharing my workouts and really lead that group. And it really did bring self-accountability to me. So the very last thing is, coaching is about impact and it's about income. It's about both. So hopefully that answered a few of your questions. We're going to go a little bit more into it in a second, but I did want to give you just some things, some more info about me. So I consider myself a dinosaur coach because I've been doing this for 6 years, a long time. And that's a long time. But I am a premier coach. I'm in the top 1% of our network. I'm a Success Club legend, which doesn't mean anything to you. It just means that I've been able to reach consistent goals for extended periods of time in our business. I'm on the Orlando Market Council. I'm an organization leader within Team Beachbody. I'm a 7-star diamond. I founded Team Lift, which is our organization and our team within Team Beachbody. And I am going to be one of the coaches that help open this new territory in the UK. So as you can tell, I still am super uncomfortable talking about myself and those things. So I'm going to talk about the stuff that I care about, that's more real to me and what Beachbody has done for my life. So number one, we don't live on food stamps anymore, which is amazing, because anyone that's lived on food stamps knows what that's like, and it's rough. Again, before I started Beachbody, we were 6 figures in debt. We were living on food stamps in a tiny little 2-bedroom cockroach-infested apartment in Maricopa County in Arizona. And my husband was in grad school. He was gone 80 hours a week. And we were just trying to not dig ourselves deeper and deeper and deeper. And, not being on food stamps was a big deal for us. We've been able to do 7 international vacations together without our kids because of Beachbody, which has been amazing. Mike and I do an international trip every single year. It's one of our goals, and we're able to do that because of our income. We've bought 2 houses. I've helped one of my coaches who was a single mom pay off her mortgage. That's probably one of the biggest accomplishments I feel like as a coach, coaching someone else, that I've been able to do. It just was incredible. And she became a coach. She paid off her mortgage, and then she quit, and she continued her career that she had. And it was amazing just to see Beachbody do this one thing for her life and her work at that one goal so hard and be able to accomplish it. And it's incredible. I've also been able to help another friend of mine, one of our best friends, really reach a physical and financial transformation and freedom. And again, that's what coaching is all about. It's helping people reach more freedom in their life to live better and live happier and live healthier and just not be so burdened by these things that get us down: stress, finances, physical ailment, just these things that, cause these crazy cycles in our life. But I've been able to eliminate that 6-figure debt that we had. We bought a franchise. You can read all these things. I retired my husband last year from the corporate world. There's just, the list for me goes on and on and on. Having a 6-figure savings account is huge. That's something that I'm super proud of as well, so that if, we ever got in trouble, we'd be fine, There's just all these things. So for me, with coaching, it's definitely a personal thing, whatever your income goals are, because coaching is impact and income. If your income goals are like Lisa, who just paid off her mortgage and then left the company, or if you want to do this full time with like Mike and I do, or whatever it is, the cool thing about Beachbody is that you can structure your business in that way and your goals in that way. So whatever you really want to accomplish, we can help identify sort of the path that you take and help you get there. So that's exciting. Here's just a little bit about what we actually do as coaches. This is basically the entire process. This is what a coach does from start to finish. So we network, obviously, through social media, face-to-face, a bunch of different ways. We build relationships online with people, and then we invite them or share sort of the things that have worked for us, right? That's the selfies that you see and us doing our workouts and sharing tools and sharing products and sharing all that stuff. There's a reason why we do it. It's because people who are looking to get in shape need that kind of stimulation. They need that motivation. They need that inspiration. They need that kind of stuff every single day to help them first decide to get in shape, second to really commit to it, and then third to get a coach and actually succeed at what they're doing. So that's a really important part of it. At that point, like once somebody's ready to start, the selling part of coaching, I want you guys to look at it a little bit differently. The selling part of coaching is really just helping people find structured programs. Random, and I say this all the time, random workouts lead to random results. Random dieting leads to random results. Jess is like, oh my gosh, if I hear that one more time. But it's true. Like so many people don't get results because they work out 1 day a week and then 3 days a week and then 5 days a week and then no days a week. Or they eat like me last week and they eat 4 candy bars in 1 day. And then the next day, all they drink is Shakeology. Like there's gotta be, some balance here. So we provide that structure. The workouts are the structure. The Shakeology is the structure. It's what actually brings people results. And if we can get them doing a program from start to finish and drinking their shake every day, they will get results guaranteed. And that's an incredible thing to be able to say. So once we've sort of got them results with the product, this is when we support and motivate and keep them accountable. We get them results. And then here's my personal take. For me, as someone coming into this industry 6 years ago, the reason why I signed up as a coach wasn't because I wanted to grow a business. That just happened by default. I was so invested in bringing hope to people that felt hopeless at the time, because that's where I was. I felt unfixable. I felt hopeless, but I wanted to make a change. And I found that path to do so through Beachbody. So I wanted to share that experience with other people. It had affected, my depression so deeply and so quickly, and turned sort of my whole life around in a positive way so quickly that I really was passionate about sharing that one thing. Like, hey, start exercising, start taking care of yourself, and guess what? You feel better. It was really that simple. And I didn't look at it any other way than that. And so I kind of just had this fearless approach to, sharing what I was doing, because I was passionate about helping people who were suffering from depression, like I was, get out of that black hole. And so for me, with every single person that I invite them to become a coach at some point, not to build a business. That's something that they can do if they want to, but to help another person and create a ripple effect. Take what you've learned, take what you've gained, and teach someone else and really make a difference. That's really what that was about. So, the main message that we have as a team, and our team is called Team Lift, is to lift our lives and lift others. That's our main goal. So this is sort of coaching in a nutshell. These are just some of the things that I think hold a lot of people back from actually becoming successful as coaches. And it's really not rocket science. If you guys look at this stuff, you're probably like, oh yeah, I deal with that. Fear is huge. Insecurity, fear of selling. You don't feel good enough. You don't feel fit enough. You're not pushy enough or business savvy enough. You don't want to be salesy. There's like so many different things. You don't have a network. You don't have the knowledge. You are afraid of the financial obligation that coaching costs. And just the main thing, the main personal obstacles that people have as coaches when they're deciding if they want to do it or not is money, time, and ability. And the only thing that I have to say about this is the only solution to those things is joy, G-O-Y. It's to get over yourself. That's what that stands for. Your biggest obstacle is yourself. So I'm going to go through these 3 things really quick and just give you an idea on what these 3 things look like with coaching so that you can put your mind at ease. Money, for me, I look at it this way. The more money you have, the more money you can give. It's that simple. Dollar bills, y'all. If you have them, you can give them, right? So I just wanted to talk a little bit about the investment and what it takes to become a coach, because I think that that's something that a lot of people are interested in hearing about. Let me just move this. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's driving me crazy. So the investment, there's 2 ways you can sign up as a coach. There's a basic sign up that's $39.99 one time, and then it's $15.95 a month to maintain your coach account. You can cancel it at any time. There's no like ring around the rosies with that. You can cancel it at any time. $39.99 one-time sign-up fee, $15.95 a month. Super simple. Or there's a challenge pack option, which most people do, especially if you actively want to start coaching, because you get a program. Now you get BOD, so you get every single program that Beachbody offers. You get a bag of Shakeology. You get that $39.99 coach fee waived. You become active status immediately, which I'll tell you about in a second. And you also get the portion control containers and a shaker cup. Like, it's really just the best value signing up as a coach and just really getting your feet wet and going all in. I would say like 99% of the coaches that come onto our team sign up with a challenge pack, but either way is fine. For me, I couldn't afford it at the time, so I did the $39.99, and then like a week later I bought Shakeology and ended up spending way more, so it was stupid. But anyway, these are the 2 options. Right now the challenge pack's $160 is how much that is. So that's your total investment. Anything you purchase beyond this point is 100% up to you. If you want to be on Shakeology every month, it's up to you. You don't have to be on that in order to keep your coach account open. The only thing you have to pay every month to keep your coach account open is the $15.95. If you actively want to work your business and get commission and be a Beachbody coach that's impacting lives and getting people fit and running challenges and doing all this stuff, then you have to be active status. So this is just the additional step, which I'm going to tell you about right now. So most people do the challenge pack because, let me skip forward. Because it makes you active status immediately. So being an active status coach just establishes you as someone who's actively working and helping others. Super simple. You need to either sell 50 PV, personal volume, or you can look at it as dollars every month, or purchase $50 worth of product every month. Most coaches in our network use Shakeology because they love it, not because they have to or they're obligated, and that is why Beachbody is such an incredible company. But that keeps them active status every month as well, because it's worth 90 PV or $90. So it just covers that every month. You don't have to worry about active status. But if you can't afford it, then you can sell $50 worth of stuff and stay active. So that's what that means. It's basically your first promotion as a coach. Going from, inactive to active is like your first, hey, I'm out there, I'm doing this, I'm going to go for it kind of thing. So one thing that was important to me when I first signed up, because again, I had no dollars, was to earn my fees back as quick as I could. So I asked my coach how I would do that. And he said, if you can sell 3 people Shakeology, your Shakeology will be covered every month. And at the time, I remember like wanting to crap my pants. And I was like, 3 people, like, I don't know 3 people to buy Shakeology. Like, this stuff is so expensive. That's what I kept thinking. But at the same time, like, I was driven. I didn't have the money to buy it, and I had no choice but to get it covered. And again, it was about me sharing sort of that hope and gathering this fitness family and having something to be accountable to. And by default, just talking to people and asking them what their goals were. this was a very natural process after a while. At first, it wasn't. I had to work at it. But once I really understood how Shakeology worked and what it was for and how it could benefit people, and I let go of the responsibility of other people's finances, which is a huge part of sales, it became a lot easier for me. So just so you guys know, if you want to earn your fees back as a coach and have your $15.95 covered every single month, and then your initial challenge pack covered, if you sell 3 bags of Shakeology or sell 3 challenge packs to people, then you earn 25% commission off anything you sell as a coach, and that will earn your fees back. Okay. So that's all that business stuff. So the second excuse that I hear a lot is time. And this is all I have to say about this. You're either a life is an excuse kind of person, or life is a reason kind of person. For me, and for anyone that I've noticed that's successful in general in most goals or things that they want to accomplish, they are life is a reason kind of person. I'm doing this because my life is worth it. I'm doing it because I want a better life. I'm doing it because I want more for my life. I'm doing it because I want more for my kids' life, right? It's that sort of attitude and mental shift. So really examine that. If you are super busy, which most people are, and you're trying to build a business on the side, I would say you don't have to have full-time hours to be successful as a coach, but you do have to have a full-time effort when you are working your business. So whether that's 5 minutes a day or 50 minutes a day or 5 hours a day, as long as you're being productive and doing the activities that actually build your business that we teach you, you'll be fine, right? I built this business, and I laugh about this all the time, in like 2 hours a day, in between diaper changing my 2-year-old, on the toilet, in the pantry, anytime I had spare time sitting in traffic when I wasn't chasing my kid or being a single parent at the time because Mike was gone in grad school all the time. For the first 2 years of my business, it was in between everything, and it was a sacrifice. It did take time, but I was able to do some pretty incredible things for our family because of that work ethic. So again, it just depends on your goals and what you want to accomplish. And once your coach knows that, they can help assess and give you a more realistic idea of how much time that would take. So the very last thing is just your ability. And I'm just going to say this one time, because remember this girl, right, that started 6 years ago. She's the only girl that could have brought me to where I am today. If I started this opportunity now, I could never have done what I did. I was in the right place at the right time with the right fight to be able to do this. And I will say you will never be more powerful as a coach than when you're brand new, because you have something to fight for, and you have a lot of energy and a lot of passion and a lot of drive, and you have that perseverance that it takes. You know what I mean? As a coach who's been doing this for 6 years, you have to find that motivation and that drive and that perseverance every single day, especially when you start hitting some of those bigger goals, those life goals that you never thought you'd be able to accomplish. And you have to start thinking bigger and thinking outside the box and start thinking about helping other people hit their big goals. Your motivations change. So I look at that girl and I think to myself, I still look at that photo and I'm like, I don't even know where I was in that photo. I don't know who I was. I don't know where Jace went, but she's not there. But I'm so proud of that person, because I was very motivated and very driven and very hardworking and very passionate about helping and loving other people and helping them feel good. I just wanted them to feel better and be better when they left me. It was that simple. That was my purpose. So feel confident about that. This is one of the last slides, and then I'll let you guys go, or we can do Q&A or whatever. This is a really simple just breakdown of what we actually do on a day-to-day basis. So most people's question is, how do you find people? Obviously, we find people through social media. We have a warm market, which is friends and family. We have a cold market, which is total strangers, right? So we teach you how to network both ways. We teach you where to do it, how to do it, who to do it to. Obviously there's like fit clubs and live events, and you can become certified and teach fitness classes. There's a ton of different avenues. So I don't want you to freak out so much about how you find people, because if you think about how you're on this call and how you found your coach and how natural that felt, well, hopefully it felt natural. That's what we teach you to do. So for me, just so you guys know, I did not grow my business with friends and family. I was completely the opposite. I created a brand new Facebook page. My husband wasn't even on it for like the first 3 years. And I literally started with 0 friends on Facebook, 0 friends on Instagram, 0 network. And I just worked the cold market. I started networking with people online, and I started building a reputation, and I started getting people results, and it grew like wildfire. I didn't use my friends and family at all. I wanted to prove to myself that I could do this without that. I don't know if it was my ego back then, and I was afraid that if I failed, I would look like an idiot. I don't know. But for me, it just wasn't an option. I wasn't in that place. I needed to find myself and figure out who I was and get good at what I was doing and make sure that I was committed to it before I involved the people that I love the most. And for me, it was way easier to fail with strangers than people that actually knew me and that I actually cared about and that saw me on a daily basis. So that was part of it. So I don't want you to freak out too much about that. That's stuff that we train on all the time. We talk about all the time. And that's, you know, such an emphasis about how can we help more people? How can we find more people? Who can we, you know, reach out to? That's a constant thing with coaching that we're always strategizing and talking about. So don't stress too much about that part right now. And then there's 4 things that coaches do every single day. And you guys can start practicing this immediately, even if you're not a coach. These are things that will lift your life immediately if you can get consistent with them. Number 1, be a product of the product. Do the workouts, drink your shake, and live a healthy lifestyle, right? You have to do it. So it's a practice, right? Again, it's like yoga. Healthy living is like a practice. You just do it every single day, not perfectly, but you practice every single day and try and get better, right? Try and do one healthier bite, one healthier exercise. Try and just, you know, go one step at a time. The next thing we do as coaches is invite every single day. Even if you're not a coach, this is something that I believe every single person can do. They can be influential in the people around them. They can be a good, positive light in someone's life. And to me, that's what inviting really is. It's about providing value for free. So that's something that you can do every single day. Next is personal development. This is underestimated, but imperative as a coach. And it's not just because you need to like say, these are all my demons and these are all the things that I suck at and I need to fix them. It's because you're dealing with a lot of people who have a lot of issues and a lot of things that you have never been through, and you need to have tools in your belt that can get them through those things. And if you're reading and doing personal development and learning how to be a leader and learning how to manage and love people better, you'll be unstoppable. That's really what people need. They need that person to be their, no, I wouldn't even say like their life coach. We're not life coaches. What we are is cheerleaders. We're motivators. We're people who find structure and plans and paths for people to change their life. And then we cheer them on every single step of the way. That's what we do. So the very last part, and something we try and do every day, is recognize the progress. It's really easy to do a workout and then look at your abs and wonder why they're not there. I do that every day. Every single day. I'm like, dang it, why do I still have this layer of, it doesn't matter. Every single day, recognize the progress, whether that's in your own physical journey, if that's in the people that you're working with, if that's in your family members, your friends, whatever that is. These are the 4 vital behaviors is what we call them. And any coach that is dedicated to what we're doing prioritizes these 4 things no matter what. So if there's a day where you have literally an hour to do Beachbody, this is what you do. And it will progress your life forward. It's the consistency in those things that really adds up over time. There's this incredible book called The Compound Effect. If you haven't read it, you should get it. It's amazing. That's what you can read for your personal development. and you'll sort of understand that concept a little bit better. So here's the last 2 slides. I want you guys to think about the coach in you. And remember, this is my after picture, right? This I took on Easter. And I look at this picture and I'm like, yeah, that's me, right? This girl who loves her babies, is obsessed with her kids, who is actually legitimately happy, right? And it's not a perfect happiness, and it's not one that just comes naturally to me. I'm not a naturally happy person, believe it or not. I have to work at it really hard. But when I look at these pictures of myself now, I am content. I'm happy, right? And that is an incredible kind of freedom. If there's nothing else that I got from Beachbody than paying off my 6-figure debt, which was gigantic for us, and becoming a fully functioning human being who loved herself and her family and the people around her and can recognize that goodness, that's good enough for me, right? Being able to share that with someone else and helping them be able to realize that and recognize that is everything to me. So when you guys think about the coach in you, I don't want you to think about like this perfect schedule or this perfect size that you have to be or this perfect personality that you have to have. Coaching and finding that coach inside of you is simply about having a passion to become better, to become healthier, to help other people become healthier, right? To bring hope to other people, to leave them better. That's what our culture is. That's what Beachbody is all about. That's what this lifestyle is. And that's why coaching is so infectious. And that's why when people don't treat Beachbody or this opportunity the way that it should be, I think they're icky and it irks me, right? I want them to really understand what this can do. And the reason why I've been successful at this is because I teach it in a way that really does create impact in people's lives. And I want my coaches to be that way. I would never want it to be any other way, or it just doesn't work. I've seen it not work a bajillion times with a lot of icky coaches. And we're not icky. That's not how we do it. So here's your homework. And then I'll open it up to questions if you guys have any more, and then I'll let you go. My motto is dream, discipline, do. Okay. You have all these dreams and all these ambitions and all these things you want to do with your life. Awesome. So does everyone else, right? What's going to make the difference of you achieving them is your discipline. Don't ever envy what someone else has. Envy what they did and what they do to get it, right? That's what you strive to do. Their behavior, their habits, their discipline, that's what you copy. You try and ingest that energy that they have to discipline themselves. And if you can do that, then you will be able to do anything that you put your mind to. And I believe that with all my heart. I've lived it. I've experienced it. I've seen it in other people. It's not enough to just dream. You really do have to discipline yourself. You have to take action. You can't just live in this analysis paralysis in your dream world. You can't just dream about your dream. You have to realize it. You have to discipline yourself and you have to do it. So here's your goal. I say this a lot on my social media. If any of you follow me on Instagram, get up, get going, get yours. I say it all the time. It's something I say to myself when I'm feeling horrible. So if I ever say that on social media, you know it's that kind of day that I woke up and I'm like, freak, I don't want to adult today. But here's your goal from this call. I want you to get set up if you decide you want to become a coach. So reach out to your coach, ask, how do I get set up? I want you to be what's the word? I want you to do it. I want you to reach out and say, how do I get set up, right? And then I want you to set 3 goals with your coach. I want you to tell them 3 things that you want to accomplish that would make your life better. It can be anything. It can be physical, financial, mental, spiritual, whatever it is. And then we're going to get to work. That's how it's going to work. Okay? Simple. Questions are how we get one step ahead. So that's how we're going to go from now. So I want to just open it up really quick. If anyone has any questions, I know some people came on late. I know some people are going to listen to the recording. So if you have questions, reach out to your coach. And I don't know, I think my coaches were kind of monitoring the chat, but let's see. Oh yeah, I was going by US dollars, just for anyone that's from Canada. I was talking in US dollars. And I honestly have no idea what the Canadian crossover is because I'm that awesome. So I will find that out for you if you are from Canada, and I will let you know. Do any of you guys have any questions about that? Are we feeling good? Yes or yes? Good. Okay, so again, your homework is to reach out to your coach, get set up, get your goals in place, and then we'll get to work, okay? I love you guys. Thank you for hopping on. We appreciate it. I'm sorry I took so much of your time, but I love what I do, and we really hope that you join our team and help us create some impact. I'll talk to you guys soon.